Greetings from London to the 17th World Festival of Youth and Students in Johannesburg in 2010. My name's Keable. I was born in London in 1945, the same city and the same year as the World Federation of Democratic Youth was founded after the defeat of the fascist powers which had launched World War II, and to carry forward the great ideals of peace, friendship and solidarity. And solidarity is what I want to talk about. I joined the British Young Communist League at the age of 13, and in 1968 I went to the 9th World Festival of Youth and Students in Sofia, and it was one of the greatest events of my life. I remember the warm welcome we received from the Bulgarian people, and I'll never forget my first sight of the huge Vietnamese delegation, young men and women all in military uniforms, because their country was fighting to expel the US invaders from their territory, which indeed they succeeded in doing at great cost. Now, our YCL delegation had asked the Vietnamese in advance what solidarity gift they would like us to bring them, and they said bicycles, because they used modified bicycles to transport supplies through the jungles on the famous Ho Chi Minh Trail. And so we collected money from the British public and bought 90 British bicycles, which were taken to Sofia in a lorry and presented to the Vietnamese at a special ceremony, which was both solidarity, both practical and symbolic. And I was engaged in some other solidarity work around that time, because I was one of the ANC's London recruits. These are described in the book Armed and Dangerous by Ronnie Casserilles. And in fact, I'm recording this video now in the very flat in London where Ronnie and Eleanor Casserilles and their family lived in their years in exile. In early 1968, I was introduced to Ronnie. He gave me some money which had been given by the Soviet Union, and he gave me a suitcase in which were concealed 1,200 letters addressed to members of the Indian community in South Africa. And I flew to Johannesburg. I booked into the Rydal Mount Hotel in the Hillbrow district. I bought 1,200 stamps. I stuck them on the letters and posted the letters, and then flew home without telling anybody at all. 2 years later, in 1970, Ronnie asked me to go again and to find someone to go with me, and so I recruited my good friend Pete Smith from Southampton. We went to Durban, and after a few days' preparation we set off some leaflet bombs and a loudspeaker device. Now, the leaflet bomb is a harmless device which blasts hundreds of leaflets high into the air, and the loudspeaker device broadcast a recording of some ANC songs and speeches. These had an electrifying effect upon the African crowd who were waiting at the end of the working day to catch their buses and trains back to the townships. We found out afterwards that the same thing had been done simultaneously in 5 cities: Durban, Johannesburg, Cape Town, Port Elizabeth and East London. And I now know that the London recruits did similar things every year from 1967 to 1971. The London recruits were white people, mostly British, but also from Ireland, Greece, USA and elsewhere, who were prepared to help the ANC and the South African Communist Party in their epic struggle against the apartheid regime. Now, I'm saying this because in the 21st century, I believe that the world situation is extremely dangerous, and the world needs more and more and more international solidarity. I'd like to say that in every language in the world, which I can't do, but I'm going to say it in Esperanto, the international language, which is intended to be a common second language for the whole human race equally. La mondo bezonas pli kai pli da internacia solidaro. Have a good festival. Solidaro.